Hence, we've opted to speak to the CEO of Junto Media Group, Lucas Moloi, to give us more insight on the history of xenophobia. He joins us now via Skype to share the history of the menace with us. Lucas, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, thank you.
Now, you're South African and also grew up in your country. Can you tell us how this might have all begun?
Look, the issue of xenophobia in South Africa, it's not the issue that has always been there. You know, we need to go back and remember that it has not always been post-1994. It's been very nice. Everybody has been living in peace without any problems. And even before then, you know, there was never any issues of racial segregation in the country, and that we really started seeing that in 2008 during those first xenophobic attacks. I don't know also even xenophobic attacks is the right word for it, because you know, I personally see it as Afrophobic attacks, because if it was xenophobic attacks, we would see it, people that are being attacked is people from all around the world. But what is happening is that it's only Africans that are really being attacked. So the root of it, I'd say it's really from 2008. And the feeling is that it was some sort of a protest. People were really protesting not against foreign nationals, but they were protesting against the service delivery from the government part. Now, you have to also analyze and see where are these attacks really happening. And these attacks are happening at a large scale in areas where poverty is a problem, in townships and such areas. And this is areas where people already are with a strained healthcare system, with a strained education system, and that, and sort of they then come to a point of feeling that look, we now have to share these resources with people that are not originally from South Africa, and it's too much. There's already not enough, and that. So it's really a cry for help from the citizens to say to government, you are not giving us enough services.
Lucas, could this menace, be it xenophobic or Afrophobic, as you put it, could it have been avoided if it was probably nipped in the bud?
Look, the biggest problem with it is when it started in 1994 and that, it was really not adequately addressed. If we had, you see, when people do something, and what we need to realize in this is that there's a biggest element of criminality in this whole thing. For an example, if you see the pictures that surfaced yesterday of Alexandra, and that you'd realize that the people that attacked him and killed him, stabbed him to death, are really criminals. You know, you can see that this is people that are just plain simple criminals. Now, when things like that happen, and there is no repercussions for these people to face, you have to be guaranteed that it will happen again. When such a thing happens, a very loud message and clear message needs to be sent out by the officials to say we are not going to allow such criminality to happen. We are not going to allow such attacks to happen. Now, when this happened in 2008, the gentleman that was burnt alive, where the pictures went out and sent shock waves around the world, people took pictures around it. The people that committed this crime were seen in these pictures, but nothing happened to them. Nothing was done to send out a message to say, you cannot ban another person. We will do something about it as the authorities, and that. When that message is not sent out loud and clear, you can rest assured that something like that will repeat itself in the future, because people could get away with it. And that's where the problem is. Another thing I see it, and when I looked at these pictures yesterday, I went on social media to attack the media itself. And I sat down and I said, it is shameful that someone will be holding a cell phone when someone is being attacked. Instead of using that cell phone to call for emergency, to call authorities, to call for police and that person would rather take pictures of what is happening instead of using that cell phone to help the individual that is being attacked. So it shows me exactly that people have lost their sense of humanity, that they would rather have popular pictures trending on social media instead of saving someone's life. So when such things happen, and the authorities don't take a stand on it, don't make an example of it, then you should rest assured that it will happen again. I think it's the 3 of them that are arrested now today. It is now going to depend on what happens to them. Because if the government makes an example of the ones that they have arrested now, this will never happen again. People will know that no matter where the person comes from, I cannot just kill an individual and hope that nothing happened and get away with it.
Now, just before I let you go, Lucas, besides what you said about possible prosecution about those who've been arrested, do you think that the approach being used right now by the South African authorities is best, or that more needs to be done, especially with what we just saw a few hours ago with the Zulu King having a meeting, even though it was said that his statements is what was the catalyst in the situation to begin with? So do you think that what's happening now is the best approach?
Look, I still personally don't feel that a very decisive message has been sent. I feel people are still working on eggshells instead of addressing a real situation. The statements that have been going out have not been the statement to warn those that are busy committing these crimes. The statement that came out yesterday from the police minister and that was almost close to that. But I feel that the message that needs to go out now is for the government to say clearly that we do not support what is happening. We do find those that are not South African citizens, we do still see them as Africans, and Africa, it's for all Africans. And that message needs to go out, and it needs to be said that those that are caught doing this act will be prosecuted, and there will be harsh punishment that will go out on them. Until authorities come out to say this out very clear, it still feels that they are supporting what is happening. Even though they're not supporting it, it will still feel that they are supporting it. And you know, if you stay quiet about something, you are seen as supporting it. You have to come against it, and you have to come all guns blazing against it to show that you are against that situation. Otherwise, if this is not done, if this is not stopped, we are going to see the very same genocide that we are remembering now that happened in Rwanda. You know, it happened in 100 days. It took over 1 million lives. I do not think that anyone wants to carry a name which is the name that failed humanity during 2015 when people were killed and no decisive action was taken.
Lucas, I don't know who could have said it better. Thank you so much for giving us more insight on where this xenophobia menace began. We really appreciate your time and your input. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Lucas Moloi is the CEO for Junto Media in South Africa. He's been giving us the history of xenophobia. We take a quick break now, Network Africa. When we come back, we're looking at the issue of illegal migration. More pressure is now under the EU.